Hi, I am Tapan Chakraborty. Welcome to my channel, Fly with Tapan. Applying brake on fighter aircraft after landing is much more critical than that of passenger aircraft. First of all, it is very smaller in size, so the landing gear or the wheels are close to each other. But in passenger aircraft, wheels are much away from each other, so provide more stability during landing and takeoff roll. Being a smaller in size, the fighter aircraft generally don't have spoiler or thrust reverser arrangement, which contributes brake after landing in passenger aircraft. Sometimes fighter aircraft have to operate in field area, where runways infrastructure may not be as good as international or domestic airport. Flown generally by single pilot make the things tougher. A fighter aircraft has got the following brake arrangement to stop the aircraft in runway after landing: wheel brakes, air brakes, and brake parachute. The construction and function of wheel brakes of fighter aircraft is same as passenger aircraft, which I explained in my last video, how aircraft applies brake. If you haven't seen it, please go through it. Here you will see the air brakes and brake parachute of fighter aircraft. Air brakes are also known as die brake. These are the panels situated in wing or in fuselage of aircraft. The front of the panel is hinged with the aircraft structure and rear is attached with a hydraulic piston. By operating the piston from the cockpit, the pilot can operate the air brake. During takeoff and normal flying, air brake don't have any role to play. It remains flush with the aerofoil structure of the aircraft. The requirement of air brake comes after the landing and during combat mission. When pilot engages the air brake, piston will extend and it will force the air brake to open. Now high-speed airstream strikes the surface of the air brakes panel and create the air resistance or brake. Next comes the brake parachute, invented by Russian scientists in 1912. Initially, it was intended to apply brakes on military aircraft while landing on a wet runway due to rain or snow. It was also used in the event of brake failure or overshooting of runway during landing. But gradually it was found that it is the most convenient way to apply brake on a high-speed vehicle. Not only that, it relieves the stress to all components of the wheel brakes assembly and prolong the life of their component. These components are very costly. So using a parachute for braking is the most economical way to apply brake on an aircraft. So it is made compulsory now for so many aircraft to use brake parachute in every landing. This is how the brake parachute looks when it is unpacked. This is the metal hook. This is the parachute bag attached with the hook. This is the canopy or the parachute. At the end of it, there is another small parachute known as auxiliary parachute or extract parachute, having a conical spring inside. The complete parachute assembly with the strap will be packed inside the bag. Now the bag is to be put inside the parachute container situated at the rear of the aircraft. The metal hook of the parachute will be held by the release unit of the aircraft. Now the auxiliary parachute along with its spring will be compressed and placed behind the main parachute. It is to be fixed in this position by the rear lid of the parachute container called dome. Now parachute is fully ready for operation. In the cockpit there are two buttons, one for deployment of parachute and another for releasing it from aircraft. After landing, the pilot presses the deployment button. Straightaway the dome will open. The spring of the auxiliary parachute will throw the auxiliary parachute out of the container. Now it will be exposed to high airstream and will deploy. Though it is a small parachute, but due to high airstream, it will generate sufficient force to pull out the main parachute from the container and the main parachute will deploy. The parachute with its large area and with high airstream create enormous amount of drag or air resistance and oppose the forward movement of the aircraft or space shuttle, thereby applying brakes. After reducing the aircraft speed, the role of the brake parachute will be over. Now it is the time to release it from aircraft. To do so, the pilot taxis the aircraft near the edge of the runway and presses the release button to release the parachute on the runway. Now ATC will make arrangement to pick up the parachute and send it for packing again. What will be the consequences if due to some technical problem the parachute doesn't open after landing, or if it opens in the mid-air during flying? After landing, if brake parachute doesn't open, then it is a sudden alarm to the pilot. Promptly he has to apply other available brakes like air brake, wheel brakes, and he will stop the aircraft in runway. Though due to more stress on the wheel brakes assembly, it may get heat up. All the modern aircraft have a blower or fan inside the wheel brakes assembly to cool its component. If required, after landing, it will be further cooled by flowing the nitrogen from a compressed cylinder by ground crew. And what will happen if accidentally brake parachute open in mid-air? There is an interlocking in electrical circuit of landing gear and parachute release unit. In such situation, when landing gear is retracted in and accidentally parachute deploy, immediately parachute release unit will open and free the parachute from aircraft and prevent any serious incident. If you feel the information I shared with you is valuable and interesting, then please consider subscribing to my channel.